It is the largest cash seizure in Miami-Dade police history. Over $24 million found inside the
1.8 million right here. The $20 bills section.
What could anyone possibly be doing with $330 million in cash? That's a question some believe the FBI may be asking Floyd Mayweather following a recent CNN report. According to the outlet, an enormous sum of money was allegedly discovered at Mayweather's Miami mansion during an investigation. Reports suggest that both his properties and business ventures have come under scrutiny, linked to unresolved tax debts dating back to his prime boxing years. These financial issues appear to be further complicated by multiple lawsuits, allegations of unpaid debts, possible fraudulent activity, and suspected involvement in questionable cryptocurrency dealings.
My life. So Andrew Jackson, of course, is on the 20. Benjamin Franklin right here. You know, money man all day. We in the bank, doing what we do best, counting money.
Initially, the FBI attempted to freeze Floyd Mayweather's bank accounts in connection to the ongoing financial investigations. However, it soon became clear that the boxing icon keeps only a small portion of his fortune in traditional bank accounts. This led federal agents to search his residences in both Miami and Las Vegas. While his Las Vegas home, where he reportedly spends most of his time, revealed little of concern, the Miami mansion told a different story. According to reports, the Miami property became the center of the investigation when agents discovered a highly secure, hidden room. None of the staff or security personnel on site claimed to know how to access it, prompting authorities to detain them for questioning. After hours of trying and deploying advanced tools and tactics, investigators finally breached the room, only to find an astonishing amount of cash inside. The volume was reportedly so overwhelming that it couldn't all be removed in one visit.
As the cash was behind this wall in the attic, packed in orange Home Depot buckets, 150 grand.
Following the shocking revelations, fans on social media had a lot to say, many expressing disbelief, while others took a more sarcastic tone. Some even speculated that Mayweather may have been holding large amounts of counterfeit cash. One user posted, "Floyd's finally getting raided by the feds. About time. Looks like the king of cash just got caught with his hands in the cookie jar." Another joked, "$330 million in cash? That's cute. Maybe Floyd's been watching too much Money Heist." A more critical comment read, "His cash stash is almost as big as his ego. Guess he was saving up for his next big rant. The feds should just take all that money and give it to people who actually need it, like the homeless."
Money made, that's all I do is get money. Today is a rose gold day, as you can see.
Another fan chimed in, saying, "Floyd's house is like a real-life game of Monopoly, except instead of fake money, it's real cash, and probably untaxed." One user added humor to the situation, writing, "I heard Floyd's cash stash is so massive, it has its own gravitational pull. That's what happens when you're a master of the sweet science of money laundering." Meanwhile, a more critical voice remarked, "Floyd's finally getting what's coming to him. All that trash talk and flaunting his wealth, now it's caught up with him and the feds are knocking."
The $20 bills section. We like to call this the Andrew Jackson section, but I like to call it wallpaper. 200,000 in 20s.
To cap it off, one fan joked, "I wonder if Floyd runs a cash-only policy for his exhibition matches. Maybe that's why he always seems broke after a fight. The feds should just auction off all that cash, and maybe even those money t-shirts. Use the proceeds to fund his next big ad campaign." Despite the controversy, the retired 50-0 boxing legend still proudly flaunts his wealth. Known for generating hundreds of millions during his undefeated career, Mayweather continues to enjoy his luxurious lifestyle post-retirement. Recently, the former champion posted a flashy video on social media showing off a one-of-a-kind Arnold. Schwarzenegger watch, the world's largest Chanel bag, and over $1.44 million in cash laid out neatly on a table. He captioned the clip. "I was once told the loudest person in the room is the weakest. That may apply to those doing something illegal, but in my case, I'm proud to flaunt my legal wealth. I'm a black man who came from poverty, beat the odds, and I don't give a damn what anyone thinks. Happy 4th of July, this is my independence. Let the fireworks begin." In addition, Mayweather shared a solo image of himself surrounded by money, tagging it with a message clearly directed at his critics.
Of course, in this world, you know, I don't always play into, worry about what anyone says about me. But I wasn't doing nothing today. I said, let me have some fun. Let me play with the people.
Yeah.
And, actually, man, something I want to show you. Yeah, let me show you something.
Okay.
I
I like being educated.
Okay. Man, one thing we don't want to.
For over 23 years, critics have said the same thing about Floyd Mayweather. All he does is flaunt his wealth, his luxury cars, designer jewelry, sprawling mansions, glamorous lifestyle, and of course, his money. But Mayweather has never shied away from the spotlight, and he had a sharp response for the naysayers. "I'm glad you spent over 2 decades hating on me instead of building your own legacy." With a reported net worth of around $450 million and career earnings exceeding $1.1 billion, Mayweather stands as one of the wealthiest athletes the world has ever seen. And in his latest social media outburst, the 47-year-old made sure fans knew what material success looks like. He took to Instagram to post a story showcasing massive stacks of cash, what appeared to be hundreds of thousands of dollars, spread across the floor in dramatic fashion.
Really show account numbers. Up here. Last time I checked, it's still right there.
Ooh, hold on, let me get. Oh shit.
Man, it's still right there.
Oh shit.
I still got it.
Okay.
I still got it just for the record. I still got it just for the record.
Okay. Damn. Shit could be bullshit.
Still got it just for the record. I still got the 100. Still got 100 million I ain't never even touched. That's just for the record.
This really shows the account numbers. Man, last time I checked, it's still there. Hold on. Yeah, it's still right there. Just for the record, I still got it. I still have it. No cap. Just so everyone knows, I've still got that $100 million I haven't even touched. That's right, $100 million untouched. Just for the record.
Time to go. Let's go.
Damn.
It's just for the record.
That's just for the record. That's crazy though that after all these years, they still.
It doesn't. The thing is this, man. You must realize this. Just about life. The thing is this. If you don't have no money, you ain't gonna have no money problems. You know what I'm saying? For you to even have any money problems.
Shortly after, Mayweather was seen posing confidently on the runway of a private airport, striking a pose before turning the camera toward his custom-made private jet. The massive aircraft, decked out in silver and gold, featured bold TMT, the money team, branding on its tail and Mayweather emblazoned along the side. As he proudly pointed toward it, he shouted, "Not bad for a high school dropout." However, not everyone was impressed. One fan commented, "He's clearly insecure. Time to go. Let's move on."
Keep them talking about what you're doing. It's obvious you must be making some noise some type of way. So I'm making some noise some type of way.
Always.
Whether it's in the ring or out the ring. Like I showed the people, actually, I paid, I think it was in 2015, I think I paid them. That was just 3 checks, but I gave him another check. I think I gave him over 30, like 34 million. That's what I paid in 2015. Check it out. So go down here. Look at me coming up top. Time me to go to bed. Time me to go to bed. See you guys in the land.
Another commenter echoed the sentiment, writing, "What a clown! One of the most insecure people I've ever seen." A more in-depth response read, "People who constantly feel the need to flex are usually self-conscious. It's a way to boost their own self-worth by comparing themselves to others." Others didn't hold back either. One wrote, "This guy is always showing off and still clearly insecure about not being able to read." Another sarcastically added, "He really thinks he's inspirational." And one fan jokingly asked, "Will Floyd ever be broke again?"
About half of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he's in Nevada, so which is no state tax. So basically, all you have to do is give them that 33%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, and I get the fact like all they're gonna do is waste my money anyway, but that's not the way you do it.
That is not.
Not all the reactions were critical. Some fans came to Mayweather's defense.
Just to deceive
One
the
supporter wrote, "Mayweather's success is a true testament to his drive and talent. Dropping out didn't stop him from reaching the top. Impressive as always." Another fan praised his legacy, saying, "The greatest boxer of all time, showing what he's earned. Floyd is the GOAT." Despite the ongoing scrutiny, Mayweather continues to stand firm. In a recent social media post, he defended his lifestyle, stating that his financial empire is rock solid and suggesting that the IRS simply wants to be part of the Money May show.
These 4 special timepieces right here come as a package. Forbes just done a crazy story on the Hue collection. I need you guys to go check it out. Now, when I travel, I like to take 7 watches, 7 Ivy & Co watches. Now, I know in the past, I talked about 30 watches, 40 watches, but now it's all about the Hue collection and these 3 watches. Ivy & Co, let's go, the Hue.
Reports have surfaced claiming that Mayweather may have even faked a tax receipt recently posted on his social media, allegedly in an attempt to mislead the public. Fittingly nicknamed Money, Mayweather's title not only symbolizes his dominance in the boxing ring, but also his remarkable ability to generate massive wealth through fights and business ventures. Despite the controversy, Mayweather publicly stated on social media that he paid an 8-figure sum in taxes last year, reinforcing his claims of financial legitimacy.
This is wild.
Well, and not to mention that could be proven, right? You just take the camera. You don't have to tell the audience it's sold out. Just take the camera and show us if it's sold out. I mean, it's as simple as doing that. Can I tell you one that's interesting? Floyd Mayweather, just before he came Floyd, he was Pretty Boy Floyd, in fact, at the time. The year was 2005, Portland, my hometown, and he fought Sean Bay Mitchell, who was a former world champion. So they fought
the tassel shorts.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Good memory, by the way. Gooseman promoted that.
Floyd Mayweather is widely regarded as one of the wealthiest athletes in history, with his remarkable achievements in the boxing ring earning him enormous fight purses. His iconic nickname, Money, perfectly reflects both his success in the ring and his savvy business acumen. Though officially retired from professional boxing, Mayweather continues to step into the ring for exhibition matches while also expanding his empire through various business ventures and property holdings. In December, reports suggested that a deal had been made for Mayweather to rematch Manny Pacquiao in an exhibition fight scheduled for 2024, likely to take place in Japan, where the two will rekindle their legendary rivalry later this year.
What he do? Had to pay what? Cut a $100 million check to the IRS. Yeah, give him $100 million. Now, if someone in this camp introduced him to someone that knew the game and that could save him money, he would look at that as a business move.
Mayweather has never been shy about flaunting his wealth on social media, often boasting about his earnings. He recently posted a picture of his tax check with a typically bold caption. "Just before I paid that little million and change for that Super Bowl stuff, I had to pay the IRS, aka Uncle Sam, $18 million. This is what I owed in taxes while I'm retired. Just imagine what I was paying when I was active." Back in 2017, following allegations of presenting fake documents, Mayweather told reporters he had already handled his taxes. "I'm not worried about that," he said. "I just showed you all $100 million check I didn't even cash on stage," referring to the payment from his fight against Manny Pacquiao. "So we ain't tripping on that."
And he has security. Well, if it don't work, at least got the money to pay him off. So I think it's a low risk, high reward for him. So I think in that situation, people with money like Mayweather, they be like, ah.
Mayweather's tax attorney did not respond immediately to requests for comment. It remains unclear whether the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, has attempted to withhold any portion of Mayweather's purse from his fight against Conor McGregor. The IRS typically does not comment on individual cases. Similarly, Nevada boxing regulators did not immediately respond to requests for comment. In general, the IRS freezes any collection activities once a taxpayer contests a lien. According to Stephen A. Smith, Mayweather filed a petition with the U.S. Tax Court in Washington, D.C. on April 13th to have his case heard in Las Vegas. The petition process follows a situation where a taxpayer and an IRS officer failed to reach an agreement on how to settle a tax debt, as explained by attorney Leighton Kohler of the Dickinson Wright firm in Las Vegas, who is not involved in Mayweather's case.
I really am disappointed. The thing is that Floyd is what they call an independent contractor. And what happens is that when you become an independent contractor, Skip, if you make $230 million, they give you two checks or a check for $230 million. It is up to you.
The appeals process may be buying Floyd Mayweather time to collect his earnings from the August fight, funds he likely used to pay the Internal Revenue Service. According to Kohler, a former senior revenue agent with the IRS, tax judges only travel to Las Vegas once or twice a year. This means taxpayers can wait 6 months to a year before their cases are heard. The lien for 2015 is just one in a series of tax liens the IRS has filed against Mayweather over the past decade. This stands in contrast to many of his former opponents, including the high-profile Conor McGregor, who has not appeared in any of Ireland's tax records since that same year. Additionally, McGregor is said to be debt-free in the United States. Floyd Mayweather's career is often divided into two distinct eras: the Pretty Boy era and the Money Mayweather era, both highlighting different phases of the boxing legend's journey.
He would have taken this fight anyway. It's hard to turn down $200, $300 million, Skip. But it looks to me that a major driving force between him, because I always thought it was Conor that wanted the fight. He wanted the big payday.
Yep.
But deep down, Floyd needed this payday because he got to settle a score. And let me tell you how the IRS works, Skip.
Bone referred to the person as Suge, and the judge indicated there was case law that said a unique name could be the basis to prove identity. And the case he showed, I think, is different than what the law is. I mean, it's a very limited circumstance when that was admissible. And the cases we pointed out to him said that's not the case here. So that's a change of circumstance, in our opinion. So we wanted the judge to lower.
The eras of Floyd Mayweather's career are starkly different in nearly every way. The first era, known for his pretty boy persona, was marked by boxing dominance, raw power, and knockout punches. In contrast, the later Money Mayweather era was defined by sharp boxing intelligence, unparalleled skill, and an impenetrable defense. Another major difference between these periods was the money involved. As Pretty Boy, Mayweather made respectable earnings, being signed to Top Rank, but in the Money Mayweather phase, he raked in hundreds of millions of dollars. While Pretty Boy was known for being law-abiding and paying his taxes, Money Mayweather became infamous for allegedly falsifying tax documents and attempting to evade taxes. However, when it comes to the exact period when his financial spree began, Mayweather himself wasn't in the best position to share that story. Professional boxer Floyd "Money" Mayweather has reportedly settled his tax bill of over $22 million owed to the Internal Revenue Service, using earnings from his August 26th bout with Conor McGregor. According to The Blast, the strategy employed by Mayweather and his attorney to handle the IRS levy is worth examining. As reported by ESPN, Mayweather filed a petition claiming that his assets were illiquid. To address the issue, he proposed making payments to the IRS until he received his fight earnings from McGregor the following month.
Is Romania going after him? Are they being pressured by someone else to do this? What is the reason why they're doing it? And what do they have on him? I don't know.
Nobody knows. A lot of people are acting like they know. If you go read it, everybody...
In other words, Mayweather and his attorney were leveraging the slow pace of the Internal Revenue Service to buy more time. However, the strategy was risky, as the IRS could have potentially frozen the purse from the McGregor fight while awaiting the court hearing. Mayweather's attorney, Jeffrey Morse, offered an even bolder perspective on the strategy when speaking to Fight.com. Floyd's a savvy investor, Morse said. If he's investing his money and earning a rate of return that far exceeds what he would pay in IRS interest, then any smart business person would take advantage of that deferral. Morse went on to explain, Floyd is looking at this and deciding that deferring his taxes until the right moment is a better business move. We filed the petition specifically to allow Floyd to continue earning from his substantial investment. Both of the tactics outlined above came with some risks for Mayweather, and for two main reasons. First, the IRS doesn't always act predictably. Second, Mayweather had a history of prior issues with the IRS, which likely made them less inclined to work with him. As a result, interest accumulated over the years without any substantial payments from Mayweather, which ultimately led to his legal troubles. That's all for now. For the latest updates on the biggest moments, events, and stories in the world of boxing, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you're the first to know when we drop more high-quality content like this. Until next time, peace.